The first quarter of the season already in the rearview mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And a look here at the veteran under center, their 7th-year quarterback.
And for how good he is throwing the ball, it's his running that makes him so dangerous. He had a couple of touchdowns on the ground in last week's game, so we'll see what they dial up for him for this one.
McCarron. He finds his man complete. That's Wagner. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. In motion goes the tight end. McCarron now to throw. Short pass caught by the tight end, Griffin. When you look at this defense, right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass, so 4th from the bottom, Charles.
And even though that's not the greatest ranking in the world, one thing you can say, they get after the quarterback. They're in the top 10 in the league in sacks.
That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 14 carries, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
And those numbers have both he and his blockers motivated this week. They saw that yardage total climbing, but stopped short of 100. Every one of them has to be driven this week to help them reach the century mark.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. To throw is McCarron. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
From the gun, it's McCarron. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd down, McClain. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage.
And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And this offense takes the ball down the field and scores on their opening drive. They got to love that. 9-play drive results in 6 points.
That means they're doing the dictating. That means that they've described how the game's going to go. They're playing at their tempo, at their pace. If you're on the other side of the ball, if you're playing defense, defense is not methodical. They've got to go in there and shake things up and create a little havoc.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they'll be led out by their 9th-year quarterback.
And this is a game for grit, determination, and somehow finding a way not to panic. What a horrible start for them. I mean, they haven't won a game yet. So now, as a quarterback, you're not just talking to your team. You've got to demonstrate to them what they need to do to win. He's got to be the leader by how he plays.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. The numbers for him from a week ago: 4 catches, 55 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Up the middle they go. Morrison.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And he can't escape, and down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. Operating from the gun, Gray. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Richardson. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. And they'll send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their second drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Short pass caught by the tight end Griffin. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. We're backed up here. Tough spot. Needing 11 yards to pick up the first. McCarron from the gun on 3rd. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
To throw, McCarron. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, and pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
On first down. It's Morrison, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
That was a really nice play. He was able to stack that one up. But they get back in the huddle. He's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And he'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Gray. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. You look at this defense. Right now they're ranked number 29 in the NFL against the pass. So fourth from the bottom, Charles.
They'll take that play right there each and every snap because throughout this season, they've given up some big plays. To be able to hold someone to no gain, oh, yeah, they'll take that one all game long.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap for McCarron. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on now is the punter as he's on to kick it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Back out comes San Antonio. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
2nd and 9 now. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll leave him with 3rd and a full yard to go. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Morrison. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 3-yard gain and enough for the first down. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now, San Antonio in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Morrison. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they've bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Going underneath to the tight end, Green. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Looking to throw. Gray. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Richardson. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun. Gray. And the reception made by Green. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. 23 yards the pickup there.
For a tight end, he's got good straight line speed, and on that route, he's often the guy that gets overlooked. Nice job there finding him in stride for really good yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Morrison. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
On the slant, complete to Green. It'll go as a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Back to throw. Gray. This is caught. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. Just power football there down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible, but all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 10-7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
That one will set them back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Well, on that one, they go with a play fake, CD, but I don't think anybody really was fooled. All eyes were fixated on the quarterback, and they got him to the ground.
And to run this play successfully, you've got to make sure that everyone is doing their part. You actually have to sell this play. You've got to sell the run action. Otherwise, why do you stop at the running back? You just run straight for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
Throwing on 2nd and long. McCarron. Incomplete.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on first down, followed by an incompletion, one more good rep, and they get off the field.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on 4th. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is taken at the 23. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And out will come the offense as they take over.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again, and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now Gray from the gun on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
Oh, one of the linebackers has got it.
And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
Well, that's a down and distance coaches always talking about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming after him, sometimes even with extra pressure.
And he knew that. I mean, he knew they were coming. He just fumbled it.
Yeah, he knew it. The offensive line knew it. Everyone did, yet the pressure was still there, and he ended up coughing it up.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. They've got the ball in a great spot here, already inside the red zone following that fumble recovery. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
So the fumble recovery, and now McCarron. That's Samuel, caught left side. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up second down and a bit farther.
Here's McCarron to throw.
A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Perfect example of the kind of attitude you have to play defensive back in the NFL. You want to be the only defender around, and you want them to challenge you. And on that play, he came through.
McCarron on 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line.
And now after that sack, we'll pause here a moment because someone was shaken up on that play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment.
And his kick is good. And that will knot us up at 10.
So the defense are able to force their first turnover of the game, and then they add on to that by getting the field goal.
And you don't just want to take the ball away from your opponent, partner. You want to make them hurt as well. And if you don't score yourself on defense, turn it over to your offense and have them put points on the board.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. Back out comes San Antonio. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Up the middle they go. It's Morrison.
And he'll take this up to the 30, a gain of 4.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And his guys are going to take the lead. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 17-10 score. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. They find themselves down 17-10 as they come up on a 1st and 10.
And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And this will be caught by his big wide receiver.
Down to the 10.
And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And his guys get the quick strike touchdown.
In the 2nd quarter, and already his 2nd touchdown reception.
Absolutely the definition of a difference maker here in this first half. Clearly one of his quarterback's favorite targets in this game, and I figure he's going to draw a little more attention and coverage moving forward.
Extra point forthcoming. And he gets it to go, and we're all even, 17 apiece. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. 17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The visitors' offense and their running back getting ready to go back to work. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now.
And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Quality coverage that time to slow down has been the main source of offense against them thus far. Got to find a way to slow down that ball in the air.
From the gun on third down, Gray. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3.
And they will take over 1st and 10. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2nd down and a yard.
Looking to throw. Lowry. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Wagner. And he goes out right around the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46. They bring their punter out there now as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you.
Under pressure, and down he goes in the end zone, and that's his safety.
Partner, you got to check this out because while they rightly congregate around the guy who just made the play on field, take a look at the sideline because they all went over to congratulate their punter because they remember it was his kick that set them up so close to the end zone and gave them an opportunity to get the safety that we just saw to add to their lead. That's teamwork right there. Full complementary football, and they got it done.
This is taken at about the 14.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great play there as the first half is winding down. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point right down the middle, and that makes this a 9-point game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. One final go for this offense here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Here's Gray. A final shot before break. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. So we come upon halftime with 9 points separating these two teams. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. From there, let's head off and check out a second game. And as you see, they were winners earlier this afternoon. 31-21, the final score. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. As you can see, the score there in the second quarter. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Off the play fake. Gray. He finds his man, complete. That's Morrison. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Always important as a defender on third down to keep the play in front of you and make sure you don't give up enough space that they can make a move on you in the open field. Try as he might, he wasn't able to get to the first down marker. Excellent defense, good tackling.
They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
They go play action here on first down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. A big play there. 46 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up.
So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off.
Look at right side, and it's intercepted. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Well, this had trouble written all over from the start. He's got 2 extra defensive backs in the game he's got to deal with. They're in a dime set. So everywhere he's looking, he's seeing a different color jersey. And sure enough, this one winds up being intercepted.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And as we look back at how we got here, you'll notice a common theme in these highlights. A lot of yardage through the air. The passing game has been sharp right from the outset.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Lowry.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Operating from the gun, Lowry. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Now a handoff up the middle. McLean. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Back to throw. Lowry.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Griffin. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
It's 2nd and inches. Let's go now. At the 9-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Lowry. And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't want to admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
He finds his man, complete. That's Morrison. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Just a gain of a couple there. And now it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Gray. In trouble, and he's taken down.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. It's a 45-yard punt, just a 1-yard return.
The home team's offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long.
Throwing to start the drive. Lowry. Griffin's got it, middle of the field. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 35-yard line.
They'll try the left side. McLean. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
3rd and 3.
From the gun on 3rd down. Lowry. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Fifth catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material.
Back to throw. Lowry. Caught here by Griffin. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35.